The job of a flight attendant isn't as glamorous as it may first appear. Being confined in a glorified tin can with individuals who really want to be somewhere else may be difficult and exhausting, particularly if the other passengers are annoying. In today's video, we're going to share with you a list of the kind of passengers that flight attendants hate the most. We recognize that attempting to obtain the flight attendant's attention might be challenging. Even after pressing the call button, waving and raising your hand, the flight crew still doesn't give you the attention you need. Regardless, no matter how irritated you are, there is one thing you must not do. Put your hands on the flight attendants. Imagine crawling on their skin to irritate them with 1,000 little things. In their professional lives, about 70% of flight attendants in the United States have encountered sexual harassment, according to a recent poll by the Association of Flight Attendants, or CWA. 18% of the polled flight attendants says they had been touched, felt, pulled, grabbed, groped, slapped, rubbed, and fondled by passengers. What might seem to you like an innocent touch gets to the heart of issues that many of our flight attendants deal with on a daily basis. Some passengers, on the other hand, choose to stand up from their seat to go and meet them when they need anything rather than simply pressing the call button to summon an attendant. This is generally met with astonishment on several Asian airlines. It doesn't bother them at all if you push the call button. In actuality, this is always valued. They're not in the wrong employment if they don't want to be touched, grabbed or groped by customers or fellow employees. It indicates that the flight attendants want to be treated like other people. You are the wrong kind of passenger if you don't respect that. It's an established fact that babies love crying. In fact, they enjoy it. They cry in their homes, cars, trains, and yes, even airplanes. Most of the time, this is not a significant concern when traveling, and flight attendants couldn't care less. However, if a flight attendant notices that the parent is doing nothing about it, particularly if the infant is really noisy, it irritates them. Moreover, when a baby is wailing in first class or business class, flight attendants detest it much more. Sleep, relaxation and comfort are the main goals of these airlines. However, that is ruined for everyone when a baby is wailing excessively. This viral video shows a well-known football team distracting an air hostess from reading the safety message. The youthful passengers might find it amusing, but the stewardess's attitude doesn't say the same. In fact, she was feeling embarrassed. These flight attendants step out of their homes each morning to assist these individuals. Now on top of that, she's got an unnecessary extra task of making sure everyone is comfortable, because a group of teenagers may be noisy and disturbing to other passengers. Even the funniest flight attendants would have a rough trip when such customers are around. There is a reason why headphones were made. So you can enjoy your music or whatever you love listening to all by yourself without disturbing the people beside you in the subway, library and yes, also during a flight. However, some airline passengers choose headphones that also double as little speakers, reaching everyone within a 5-foot radius. The largest detriment to flights, according to half of the people surveyed, is when other passengers play loud music or converse too loudly. Safety and comfort are the two things that flight attendants seek for every customer and for all travelers to arrive at their destination safely. All members of the cabin crew place this as their first priority. However, when it comes to comfort, things are different. People who kick the seat in front of them are some flight attendants' greatest nightmares. The excessively chatty and loud passengers are another thing that flight attendants detest. It's certainly okay to converse on airplanes, but when a flight attendant notices one person talking excessively to another who appears uninterested, they have a problem. Bottomless drinks and shots are more in demand than any other repulsive behavior. Since there is free beer in both business and first class, a trip may easily devolve into a chaotic party. A staggering 45% of travelers claim they could not handle flying around intoxicated people. Only 10% of respondents acknowledged consuming more than 2 drinks during a flight or in the airport prior to the trip, which shocked us a little. The suffering of the cabin crew is unending. It also extends to the galley of the airplane where the crew meets to prepare your meals and refreshments. Stay away from that area. When someone is working a long shift and dealing with more than 200 people in varying moods, it is plain nasty. It may, in my opinion, become rather wearisome. So at least allow the flight attendant some peace and quiet to attend to your lunch. Otherwise, you risk having a staff member who is irritable. The galley is essentially the staff area, and after putting up with our antics, it may be where the crew goes to cool their frayed nerves. You'll agree with me that it's disgusting to have to stare at other people's feet. What's even worse is having a stranger's foot on your face in an aircraft. Please refrain from air towing aboard airplanes. Simply said, you cannot do that because the airplane is not your living room. Just picture how bad it would smell if everyone took off their shoes and socks. Also, imagine you have to sit for hours staring at someone else's bare feet. Not pleasant, right? And more power to the attendants that would have to keep smiling even though all they want to do is cover their lips, noses and eyes. Please let our stinkers stay in our shoes until you disembark the plane. Drop a comment below if you agree. Everyone enjoys pressing the huge red buttons to request assistance, but while boarding an aircraft, kindly try to restrain your pushiness. The call button is for urgent situations. You can wave or raise your hand for pillows and snacks, but the cabin crew will go crazy if you keep pressing the button for nuts. There is no federal law that bans taking photos during flight. Most American airlines, however, forbid snapping photos of crew members while they are at work. The cabin's safety and the safety of the passengers and crew are in danger if you do that. However, various airlines could be subject to different regulations. In any event, it's not permitted to take photos or footage without authorization anywhere in the globe. The rest of the cabin crew won't be happy when they see individuals taking pictures and films of air hostesses and posting them on social media, so kindly request permission before you do it. Before leaving an airplane, some passengers frequently take the emergency flotation devices from beneath their seats and other belongings. There have been instances of customers stealing first-class amenities, including pillows, headphones and blankets. When the staff are looking somewhere else, some guests steal goodies off of trolleys. These travellers are the worst since they leave the crew to pay for food they didn't even eat. In case you don't know, it's much easier to get intoxicated at high altitude. Most passengers are unaware of this fact and they end up getting themselves drunk unknowingly. There is no way for the cabin staff to keep track of your alcohol intake if you bring your own on board. Throwing up while the plane is landing is the last thing you want to be doing. You won't be able to use the restroom since your seatbelt is locked, so you'll have to enjoy your smelly self for a while. Every sane person is aware of priority boarding and its significance. It makes it possible for passengers with disabilities and parents bringing young children to board easily. Despite this, some passengers rush the line at the boarding gate to board the plane before others. It's either they do not know the existence of the priority boarding, or its meaning, or they just choose to ignore it altogether. Some even get really angry and start making a lot of fuss when they see priority boarders going in before them. Ever ponder why airlines maintain open boarding gates even after everyone else has boarded? There will always be a late arrival who tries to squeeze in some duty-free shopping or who took too long a snooze somewhere else. A flight will always be late, regardless of whether the delay was caused by inclement weather or something else. Meanwhile, some people will always want to be the first to disembark their flight, either because they want to use the airport Wi-Fi or they want to bypass the immigration line. I don't know if they don't realize it, but no matter how quick they are to get up, the cabin door won't open until all the mechanisms are in place. So why do they get up so quickly? When I see these disgusticans taking their time at the clearing desks, I like it. I feel some satisfaction. Is it the same for you? Let me know down in the comments. On the opposite end of the spectrum are passengers who take their time getting ready, making sure nothing is left in the seat pocket, snapping pictures and using the restroom. The moment the plane touches down, the flight attendants become so exhausted that they want to go to bed and rest their aching legs. In addition, these delays in boarding result in additional delays for other passengers and aircraft, as well as significant penalties for the guilty airline. We all know the takeoff and landing procedure. Put your seatbelt on, sit up straight, raise your tray tables, open your window curtains, stow your baggage, turn off or put your phone in flight mode, etc. There's no need for flight attendants to scour the cabin searching for infractions. For their personal safety and the safety of everyone else, passengers should ensure the cabin is secure for takeoff and landing, but that's often not the case. Emergency situations occur 90% of the time during takeoff and landing. Everyone gets around 90 seconds in each case to exit the aircraft. Therefore, if the aircraft needs to be evacuated, it'll proceed much more slowly if luggage is in the way and seats are pushed back, making it difficult for those behind to exit. The pilot may postpone takeoff or landing if the safety of the passengers and their goods is compromised in order to avoid any accidents. So when you take off and land is actually up to you. Which kind of passenger annoys you the most? Have you encountered these individuals while traveling? Let us know about your experiences in the comments section. As always, if you liked it, please leave us some love in the comments and give us a huge thumbs up. Please press the subscribe button and enable your notifications so you won't miss any of our fantastic videos. Till then, remember to take care of yourself.